First shot, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Roll. What do I say?
Roll one, take one.
Roll one, take one.
Crazy, I'm crazy for feeling so lonely. I'm crazy.
Hi, I'm Tyler Stoller. I am the producer, director, and editor of Phobophobia. I'm making this documentary to show you guys the ins and outs of productions, and I also hope to answer some of the questions that you guys have, maybe some questions you didn't even know you had. And I also want to give you guys some insight into how I was able to make this film in such a short amount of time and on such a low budget. So here's a documentary on the making of Phobophobia. I hope you guys enjoy.
And then someday you'd leave me for some.
So what do you think we should decide first? Yours first. Okay, so there's a few that I want for sure. So I knew I wanted this movie to be about teens overcoming their fears. So one of the first things that we wanted to do right away was discuss what fears the teens were gonna have to go through. I also knew that I wanted to have 5 main characters instead of just 1 or 2, because I feel like that'd be best for the dynamic and it would make the story more interesting. So our fears, how should we name the one that we talked about? Like growing up with those fears.
Fear of sudden change.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. I think fear of losing someone's what we need to. One thing that was really important about this film is I didn't want the fears to be dumb fears like fear of heights or fear of the dark. I wanted it to be real life fears, like psychological fears, such as fear of losing somebody, fear of being followed, fear of being watched, stuff like that people actually go through every day. I also wanted the audience to be able to relate to all these characters and their different fears. I know I relate to every single one of these fears and these characters in a different way. So I just hope that everyone else relates to them as well and can hopefully get something out of what these characters had to go through. But do you like fear of losing someone being a final one?
Yeah, I think that'd be good because the audience would be able to relate to that one the most. Because that's most people experience fear.
I like fear of being followed because we can do a cool chase scene.
I feel like it should be like fear of being followed / watched because they can go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So we're sending out the Google form tonight for people to sign up to do different roles and play different parts.
Dude, we've got 15 responses. It's only been 20 minutes.
So that was our very first brainstorming meeting about the movie, the very first time we talked about anything plot-wise. At the end of the night, we put out a cast and crew call for video auditions and stuff like that. This is the first time I've done anything like this. In the past, I usually just pick people that I want to oh, you should do this role, reach out to my friends. But for this one, I wanted to have auditions. So I put out something online. I actually was hesitant to do this because I didn't think that we were going to get any auditions. I was like, oh, I'm going to make a fool of myself. No one's going to want to audition. Whatever, we're going to have to find people. But Brandon actually pushed me to do this. He was like, bro, you're going to get a ton of auditions. Just do it. And he ended up being right. We actually got a lot of auditions. So I'm glad I did it. And it was a very good learning experience for me. So for auditions, what I did was I put out a Google Drive on my social media accounts, and people would fill them out, select the one or multiple roles that they wanted to help out with. If it was acting, they had to send a video in of them acting. We had a few monologues that Amaya wrote for us. And if they wanted to do a different role, then they would just send a quick video explaining who they are and talking about why they think they'd be best for that given role, whether it was composer, makeup, set design, writer, crew, microphone, all that stuff. So we did that, and then we went through and watched the videos of the monologues to pick the actors, and then we picked everyone that we thought would be best for each role. So yeah, that's how that process went. So these are the actual auditions that Aubrey, Brandon, Caitlin, Jamie, and Seth sent in. They're gonna be so mad at me when they see this. They did probably not want me to show these, but while we were looking for people who could portray their emotions well, we were also looking for people who looked fun and looked like people that we wanted to work with.
I love frogs. I love them so much. They're amazing. And I am deathly afraid of ducks. They're so scary. One chased me at Disneyland, and I have not been able to get over that incident, so. So
at this point in the process, we had already picked our story developers. But before we had our very first story development meeting, I wanted to go in with Seth and Jamie and basically just make an outline of the story so that like we knew what we had to go more in depth into with the story development meetings, so we weren't just like all sitting there like, oh, what should we talk about? What we did during this meeting is we basically made an outline of the movie, and then from there we went in and micromanaged it in the story development meetings.
Yeah, can you get like tape and I would just do like the roll and just...
Last name and he stays home feeling uneasy. Do you want to add that on a sticky note for this, just side notes for later, or are we just trying to remember?
So, like how we have the first time go through round of them like just high school topics, talking about school, drama, whatever.
Yeah.
But then we hit the blip, we're back at the campfire, and now the discussion topics have changed to like somehow we don't know how to get there yet because like we're not in the logistics or specifics, but it gets on topics of like fears and all that stuff. So they just turn the corner, lights are on, the kids are like, what? And then it blips back.
Yeah.
Okay, so just leaving it, is that a fun?
Yep.
All right, that's the wall. First one up. So the cast reveal was a lot of fun, actually. So I picked the cast about a month before the cast reveal, actually, and I told each of the cast members, but for everybody else it was a secret. I didn't tell anybody else, and they also didn't know who the other people that got selected were because there's 5 main characters. So what I did is I set up a little event at Topgolf where they all were going to meet, and it was a surprise for everyone because none of them knew who the other cast members were. So we all met up at Topgolf, and they got to see who each other were, and it was a lot of fun because a lot of them were surprised. So yeah. Guys, this is Caitlin's first time at Topgolf, and she won. She beat us all. She beat us all. Along with micromanaging the story at the storyboard meeting, something that we also did was discuss the title. Believe it or not, this was probably the hardest part about the storyboard meetings. We had such a hard time finding a title that we all liked and finding a title that any of us liked, really. So here's a few clips of us trying to figure out what title to choose for the movie.
You name it the Darknet or the Darknet.
Never mind.
Have anything to do with like the scientists, like you know what I'm saying?
It has to be something about the group.
Oh my gosh, there's a horror movie named Creeped Out.
Real creative.
So, why are we focusing on fear?
Yeah.
In the title?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was so close with the screen, I can feel it, but
Yeah.
like.
The issue with the screen is it's one part of the movie and it's not significant enough to like cover what's happening the entire time.
We name it the gas station. The gas station. Yeah.
Like they're astonished or like dumbfounded. Only shock. Going back up a group. Fight and beat soldiers.
One thing that we really liked to do while we were writing was we would actually act out the scenes that we were writing about. It makes it easier to kind of visualize what we were talking about. It's funny looking, but it actually would help us in our creative writing process. Okay, go ahead. So she kicks back, and he's trying to get up. You grab him,
Oh my gosh.
and then like around, and then like that, bam. Yeah, you get the idea.
That's so hard to do when it was not like.
Yeah. At this point, the story was almost finished. We had the outline for it done and we had all of the details written out. Once our bulletin board and sticky note wall of all of our ideas were complete, we were done with the story and we went on to signing the screenplay cover. So we're currently on the way to California. And we're writing scenes. The grind never stops, right, Amaya?
What?
I said the grind never stops, right?
Yes.
That's right. we were writing the opening scene, and while we were doing that, Seth was making a layout of where everyone would be sitting and where everyone would be while they were playing the games.
Going out to join with friends, playing games in the backyard. We see a montage of friends listening to music and hanging out. The group is now sitting around.
But yeah, if we're personable right from the beginning, it'll like buckle the audience in. Like, oh, okay, I can relate to these characters, and then they go through all their stuff, so they're already like grounded with the characters before we send them through the craziness that we're
Because
gonna
then
send them
everyone
through.
already sees them and their friends in these character shoes.
Exactly. You always have to bridge the gap.
Yeah, so Toby says, "What's your worst fear?" And the group's quiet. So knowing our characters, who would be the first one to speak up? Like, I would,
Like the bravest one to talk about their fear.
yeah, like I would, like,
I would say probably not Max or Jade.
yeah, because they're so like
More self-conscious.
more self-conscious about it. And then I feel like maybe Jack would, but he would like play his fear off as not as severe as it actually is.
Yeah, like try to make it like, oh. And then who would talk second and get deeper about it?
I'd say if Jack were to go first, then Toby would probably piggyback off of him because their fears extend from like the same event.
True.
And then Chloe will go because her boyfriend went, and then Max and Jade would follow suit because everyone else had already gone.
Yeah.
Phobia.
Amaya has now. Did you say campfire phobia?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Campfire phobia.
Amaya has joined us to help write this scene. It's currently Thursday, May 27th. I just got back from California, and I have no idea how I am going to finish a 2-hour movie in a month and a half. So the scheduling process was one of the hardest parts about this movie, and it's one of the hardest parts about filmmaking in my opinion. We were filming this over summer, so obviously a lot of people were going on different trips and everything like that, and we had only 2 months to make this whole movie, and we only had about a month to film it. So what I had to do was get everyone's schedule, and then I had a few pieces of paper where I wrote down every single day that people were gone, and I was so stressed out because I did not think that it was going to work out. We ended up having 8 available days where the people that we needed to shoot were able to, and we had 7 total shoot days. So we only had 1 extra day to use if anything went wrong. We ended up using that day. So it fit perfectly. If we would have needed any more time, we wouldn't have been able to do it. So it ended up working out perfectly, but yeah, scheduling it was a very stressful process, you could say. So this was the very first shoot day. It's Aubrey's little fight scene where she has to try to overcome her fear. This day was a lot of fun. I was very nervous for it though. It was my first shoot of this movie. I was using all new gear that I had never used for a film before. But yeah, I was very excited. We had Aubrey was there playing Jade, obviously. Peyton was there as Aubrey's body double, and Jamie was there as set manager to help me out and keep everything on task. So yeah. First shot, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. What do I say?
Roll 1, take 1.
Roll one, take 1.
So right off the bat, I knew this was going to be one of the most challenging scenes to shoot. That's actually why I put it first, so that just in case anything went wrong, we'd have a while to refilm it if we needed to. This scene was the fight scene where it was Aubrey fighting herself. Obviously, Aubrey does not have a twin, so we had to shoot it in a way where it looked like she did. We had to shoot everything twice, and if the camera wasn't just perfect on every single angle, it wouldn't have worked. So the whole time we were shooting, I was like, guys, I have no idea if this is gonna work. I could go home and edit it and it could just like not look good. So we just did it and we did the best we could. Ended up working and ended up looking pretty good actually. So yeah, that was cool. Although the only problem with that is person be like a twin fight, I wouldn't really be able to do unless we had a really darn good body double. All right, and action. This is Peyton, our body double. So before this shoot, I had to heavily plan every single shot. I made something called a shot sheet, where it's basically just a piece of paper with every single shot on it. There's detailed as saying what lens I should use, how much each lens should be zoomed in, where the camera should be, if the camera should be moving, what equipment we need for each shot. Jamie was set manager, so she had the shot sheet and was making sure that I was doing everything right the whole way. We had to make sure that every shot was planned out just right to make it look good in the end. And yeah, so this was one of the scenes that probably had the most pre-production before the scene, just because we had to get it right. So I was thinking like the camera would be directly over the top of her, you know, right? And then she would like turn, and then the camera would move to reveal the other self, you know? Would that be scary? We knew that doing the twin fight would be extremely hard to shoot, but I didn't want to make the quality of the film any worse because of it, just because it was a hard thing. So here is a look back from our first meeting of some of our original ideas that ended up coming to life in this scene. They see themselves,
They turn that
they
person.
stop, they double take,
And then they turn and it's just right
they're
there.
right there.
Damn, you've gained weight.
Like, so like you're walking past, right?
Yeah.
And like we have a mirror, and so like you go and you like catch it in the corner of your eye and you like stop,
You like stop and you're like,
and
wait.
you like look at it,
Yeah.
and then like it's you like normal, and then you carry on.
And
But then
it's
the reflection stays.
Right, so then the audience is like, what's going on? And later they'll turn the corner and the person will be there.
Yeah,
Or-
later they'll pass another mirror or the same one.
Or
maybe-
just, they just see them.
or
Like, they
like-
can like, even like walk down the hallway.
Or maybe
Yeah,
like
I'll be
they
there.
fall asleep and all of a sudden, boom. Or like they
Bro, imagine you fall asleep.
And
Like
you
you're
wake
laying
up
in
in a
bed and you
kitchen.
like roll over
Stop.
and you open your eyes and it's like
Yeah,
right there.
like roll over and all of a sudden.
Like you're getting ready for bed.
Oh, okay, yeah, no,
Like,
that would work.
you're
No,
lying
actually,
down
that's-
and like
And they're just
you're
like,
just
stop.
Stop, that is so
you're like just
scary.
trying to get comfortable and you roll over and just boom.
So for Aubrey's fight scene, I thought it would be very important that we use different editing techniques, and that way the audience couldn't quite figure out what effect we used. Because if we used the same effect the entire time, they'd be like, oh, it's a body double. And if I just stitched the two people together the whole time, they'd be like, oh, he's just stitching them together. But what we did is I switched between stitching Aubrey with herself, like doing multiple videos and putting them together, and using a body double. And what a body double does is makes it so that Aubrey is actually able to like react with herself, because obviously if we're recording two videos of her, she can't do that. So Aubrey being able to physically interact with other Aubrey really sells the effect a whole lot more than just if the two were side by side. This is one of the shots where both Aubreys in the shot are actually Aubrey. So what I had to do was I put the camera in a stationary position on a tripod, and I got the first video of Aubrey running by, and when she opens the door, nobody's there. And then the second video is bad Aubrey, or alternate Jade I should say, walking through the door, but no one opens it. Then when I put these two shots together with the mask, then it looks like she's talking to herself. And to sell the effect even more, I made sure that before Aubrey opened the door, she turned and looked at the camera so we knew it was her and not the body double. Here's that shot.
Where do you think you were going?
So seeing both of their faces in this shot and knowing that they're both her really sells the effect. Here's another shot where Aubrey is showing her face in both frames. So let's open this one up. So what I did for this shot was I did 3 different takes. So the first take here is Aubrey with Jamie standing in for alternate Jade. This way, Aubrey could actually be reacting to somebody, so it felt more real. And also the bed sheets, when she moved them, are reacting as if someone is laying on top of them on the other side, which makes it more realistic when I combine the alternate Jade into the shot. The next shot down is Aubrey playing alternate Jade, and then Jamie is standing in as good Jade on the other side for the same effect. It's pretty funny to see her there instead of Aubrey. The third and final shot is one with the seam here open, just so I could mix the two shots together with it looking flawless and not looking like it's obviously two shots just clipped together. And here is the final version of that shot.
That was pathetic.
was actually my first time ever working with Caitlin. I'd only met her one time prior, and that was at the cast reveal event. But everyone did such a great job, and we had a really fun time all working together. Here we go.
I'm the acting coach.
All right, so I'm gonna step in here. So Ryan, you're gonna be, this is gonna feel weird. You're literally gonna be right here, okay? I'm literally right here.
Just like stepped over like that?
Yep. Now. So now was one of the few shoot days where all of the cast and crew was actually in town. So since all the cast was there, this actually meant that this would have been the perfect day to do posters. So we brought the green screen and we did the poster shoot for the final posters that you saw online during this shoot day.
Important announcement.
And action background, and go Aubrey.
Could never be me.
Actually, but it's actually started. Like, let's listen to the sound of
So this was our longest scene to shoot. It was the campfire scene. So after the scene was over, we didn't finish until about midnight, and we still had 2 more scenes to shoot, scene 11 and scene 13. So at this point, we were all very tired, as you can imagine, but the schedule was so tight, we knew we couldn't move these scenes. I even asked the cast at one point, I was like, do you guys think we should move this? And they were like, let's just do it. So we did it. We went out to the park to film scenes 11 and 13 just to get them done, and yeah. I want you to say that.
What's that?
What the f*** is that?
So this scene is a scene that a lot of you have a lot of questions about. How did we hit her with the car? How did I edit that? How did we do it when we filmed it? So I will be going over all of that. But first, I want to show you guys a quick look at the gas station scene and a little bit of the car stuff that we did on this shoot day. You have to stay to the side of him. Okay, ready?
Totally not.
And go.
Yeah, isn't that?
Did
you see that too?
Yeah.
That's insane, right?
Wow, that's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
My bangs are gonna be in it.
Yeah, don't tell us good in your face. That would not be very good.
No, it would not at all. Yeah.
No. Honestly.
Looking around. See it? On screen. And go.
Go, Jamie. Go, Jamie. My man.
So one important thing about shooting this scene was I didn't want to do it on a green screen, her getting hit by the car. I wanted to do it on set and make it look as real as possible. So we did actually hit her with the car. No, I'm just kidding. It would have dented the car. Oh, and it would have hurt Caitlin too, besides the point. But we did actually film everything there on set, and I will show you how I did that in just a minute.
Now we have to go.
So like I said, for the scene where Chloe gets hit by the car, I actually wanted to do it on set. So here's how we did that. So what I did is I took 4 shots with the camera staying in the exact same place. The first shot was just a blank shot of nothing. It was the road, nothing in it, no car, no Caitlin, just the road. The next shot was Caitlin with the crash pad. And so what we actually did is I said 3, 2, 1, go, and then we pulled her back onto the crash pad to make it look like she got hit. I'll show you guys that right now. And then what I did after that was I used an active mask tool to draw out the crash pad. And the blank shot that I showed you first, that's what covers it up. So I drew out this and put in the blank shot that was on top of it. Underneath that shot is the shot of the car driving by. And what I did was I keyframed out the Mustang in every shot so that later I could add Caitlin in. And then underneath that was another blank shot so that when the Mustang drove by I could add shadows and all that. It's nice to always have a clean slate just in case I need to add any effects, just in case I missed anything. So after putting those shots together and then adding a fake shadow so that it looked like her shadow was actually on the car, here is what the final shot looked like. We're on our way to the Flagstaff shoot. We're listening to some score stuff.
What's up?
So now came a shoot that we were all very excited for, the Flagstaff Forest shoot. We went up to our good family friend's cabin. Shout out to Sandy Johnson. So Brandon had written the scene for the cabin, and I wanted all the actors to kind of know how he wanted the scene to come across. On the way up there, I was driving with Brandon and then Corey and Seth, but all the girls were in my mom's car, so they weren't with us, so he couldn't give them the breakdown of the scene. So what we ended up doing was recording him talking about the scene, and then after we recorded it, we airdropped it to them, and they watched it while we were both on the way up in the car. So here is that video next to the final scene, and I was shocked seeing how similar they both came out. And yeah, so I'm excited for you guys to see the similarities between Brandon's version of how he wanted the scene to come across and how the final scene came across side by side. Here we go.
We begin with the scene. So, Jade, out of breath. That was a close one. And you're breathing heavily. Max? Okay, what's going on, guys? How did that door change from Jade's house to this cabin? Me? We must be somewhere special because it's literally impossible. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it was a green screen or something. Jade, you look at me? Right, totally a green screen. And we were trapped on a movie set while being chased by random guys dressed in all black. You say that sarcastically. Awkward silence. Jack, well, we better find something out because those random guys dressed in all black are going to be here soon. Max, what if we hide? Jack, we're going to change this line, but right now we'll just be sitting ducks. The only way out of here is with a fight. Find something. Max, this should buy us some time. Max, you're going to grab a chair and you're going to jam the door to like kind of slow the soldiers down. And then next you say, everyone, go find something quickly. Meet back here. We all split up. Cue epic montage. We're searching for weapons, opening drawers. You know, you
That's
find
like costume changes.
Yeah, this is also one of the costume changes. You're going to be, testing out your bat, stretching, that kind of thing. They all meet back up in the living room. Jack goes, what do you all have? Everyone presents their weapon. Jack, if we get got, it's all your guys' fault. Toby, hey man, everything's all good. We'll find something. Don't worry, we'll find something to fight with. In the meantime, check this out. And Bonnie Taylor's holding out for a hero starts playing. So, while this is all happening. We're talking, you know, planning, and the door starts rattling, and the chair's getting loosened. The chair's getting loosened. You know, the soldiers are about to break in. Max, you go, oh crap, quickly, hide somewhere. We're hiding, we're scrambling to hide. Everyone begins to hide, and on the beat drop, hold on. The door gets kicked down and the soldiers flood into the hallway. They're going down the hallway. The first one rounds the corner. Jack swings around the corner, knocks a soldier out. He winds up to swing again, but this time the second soldier catches the bat. Jack and the soldier lock eyes. Jack's like, oh shoot! And then Max, you come in and save Jack, knock out the guard. Now, we don't have the element of surprise. Now they're starting to overwhelm us, you know, they have their weapons, their guns and stuff. Jack and Max, they fall back towards Toby and Jade, and the soldiers catch up to us. Jack and Toby, we're holding the soldiers back, you know, we're kind of like pushing them back, that kind of thing. We get overwhelmed, Jack goes, run, run, run. Toby and Jack, we break free of the grip and we catch up to you guys. Begin right here, chase sequence. It's cat and mouse, we're running around the house. We're scrambling across the table, chasing each other in circles. We're running, and other stuff will be happening. You can't keep up with us and you fall behind. And now you're in a 1v1 with the guard. We're running around and we end up in a bedroom. We're locked inside the bedroom. This is our last hope. You know, the soldier overwhelming us. Max, you go, open the window. Oh wow, that's a pretty big drop as you look out. You step back and the banging is increasing. It's increasing. Jack, well here goes nothing. He starts running towards the window like he's gonna jump out of it. The group starts following him behind. I don't follow them though. I need to catch my breath. Wait guys, hold on, let me catch my breath. And holding out for a hero fades out as we run away into the forest. That was sick.
So once we all got to the cabin, we watched the scene again all together, and then I gave everyone my last minute notes on how I wanted the scene to go, and then we got ready and we started filming. Okay, we're missing one. Aubrey, say hi to the camera.
Hey,
we're doing this again because we had some mishaps, but
it's good. It's like realistic. I'm out of breath. You know, I would be.
Right, exactly.
Guys, let's go before they come.
Dressed in all black. What? I'm gonna be here soon.
So one super important part of this scene that I wanted to do is I wanted to integrate a lot of long shots, and that basically just means there's not a lot of cuts. We did a lot of it in one take, which if you watch the movie, you'll see that. And the reason I wanted to do that is because this scene is a scene where the characters are kind of like struggling, they're stressed, there's like a few montages, and what doing long shots does is actually makes the audience feel like they're going through what the characters are going through with them, obviously because you're seeing everything flowing instead of chopped up. So it feels more like you're there with the character. So that's something that we wanted to do. Seth and Brandon did a lot of blocking to help everything look great. They did a great job. The scene ended up being super, super fun. Yeah, I loved how it came out, so yeah.
Go. Fall. Good. Get up and go. Chase them.
There you go, down. There you go.
You go here.
Yeah.
I'm here. First.
Close. Open. And get banged.
Action. Go. Cut it out. Good. Perfect. More. Good. Close the door. Go. Go. Fight. Push forward.
Oh, I should just do that.
Got the shade.
Don't all watch me. I'm sorry.
3, 2, 1, go. 1, go.
Ah, shit.
There you go.
Good.
Perfect. 1, go. Perfect.
Oh my gosh, you were supposed to hit me that hard.
Let go. Oh. Yeah.
The location where we filmed this forest scene in Phobophobia was very special to us because we filmed my previous film, The Rising Revolt, in the exact same spot. This movie was a passion project of mine that I had written over the course of a few years. It's something that I always wanted to make but never quite got around to until the pandemic. Once I had a lot of free time, I knew that there was no better time to start it, so I did just that. Everything you see in this movie we had to completely make from scratch, from the sets to the costumes. We choreographed our own fights and they came out really great and we had a lot of fun doing it. About midway through production, my grandpa, who I wrote the film with and who starred in the film, got diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. After months of thinking about it, we came to the heartbreaking decision that we were going to have to cancel the project. Even though we weren't able to completely finish the project, we still had a lot of great memories and I learned so much from it. We had a lot of fun shooting this movie, the forest scene in particular, so I want to show you guys a little clip from the forest scene that we shot at the same spot that we shot Phobophobia in. Marker!
Roll one, take one.
Action! About 2 months after we canceled the project, my grandpa passed away. When we went back to the forest to film Phobophobia, Seth surprised me with the cross that we put on the same tree stump that my grandpa sat on during the first movie. Three, two, one, go! Tie it up, make sure we're good to go.
Go! Go to the other side! Drive! Go!
So the lab, which is where the whole simulation takes place, was done in a room that was completely surrounded by green screens. I was able to get my uncle Darren to play the head scientist, who was basically in charge of all the operations going on in the simulation. He delivered his last line where he reveals that it is a simulation, and he did it so perfectly, and he was so much fun to work with. Go.
Bring in the next group of teens and run the simulation again.
So this was Brandon's last shoot. We did the majority of his solo scenes on this day. I also got to work with both of my parents on this shoot day. My dad first and then my mom. Seeing everyone's reaction to my parents being on screen confirmed to me that my parents are cooler than I am.
Hey, my man! Tobias, right? Yeah.
The crowd reaction at the theater during the premiere when my dad first came on screen was crazy. It's something that I will never forget. Up until this point in the movie, everything had been super serious. So when the window rolled down, everyone's like, oh, who's it gonna be, who's it gonna be? And it was him being like all goofy and everything. It was just hilarious. The whole crowd loved it. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. Recording this scene was very, very uncomfortable. I was squished up in the passenger seat, but Brandon and my dad both did a great job, and I was very impressed with how it came out in the end. My mom was also in one of Brandon's scenes playing the mom, and she did a great job. The crowd reacted awesome when she came on screen too. It was her first time acting or doing anything like that, but she did a great job. It was fun to be able to direct her. My mom was definitely a little bit nervous about the whole acting thing at first, but she got more and more comfortable as the scene went on. Something else that you might not have noticed about this scene was Toby's biggest fear was fear of growing up, fear of change. So when he first walked in, he saw all the kid toys, which reminded him of his younger brother that passed when he was like 10 years younger. As this scene goes on, the different toys and sketches around the set slowly disappear until they're all completely gone, symbolizing that reality is setting in for him and that he has to face the real world. So one of the main things that we noticed about Brandon from his audition video, which surprised us, was that he was very good at like yelling. Like he had a very good like anger expression. So definitely something that we wanted to utilize in his scenes, which we did here, and he did a fantastic job. Last filming night. So this was the final night of shooting Phobophobia. We had 3 scenes to shoot this night. The first one was Jamie on the side of the road where she actually ran into me and Alexis acting. And then we also had to do the whole gas station scene with Jamie doing her like scream cry thing in the gas station where Blakely, the cashier, gets sadly murdered. And then we also had to do the scene where Jamie finds Seth or Max finds Jack on the side of the highway. The first scene was fun, but then the other 2 were definitely more somber scenes, so it was sad for all of us, and it was also sad because this was the last time we were shooting, and after this it was a wrap on the movie. Last night of filming, Jamie's getting ready for her big scene.
I can't be oily.
Blakely, you ready for your scene too?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. It's my star moment.
Oh yeah? You 2 over here. Alexis, are you ready for tonight?
Yep.
You're in it tonight too. Brandon, you're already wrapped. You're not in this, you're just helping us out. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
So after this scene, it was time for us to head on over to the gas station and shoot Jamie's scene. This was a scene that required a lot out of her. She ended up doing a great job. So yeah, here's some footage from that night. So this is our last night filming Phobophobia. I'm here with Alexis in the gas station. We're here with all of the gear. Right now, we are waiting for Jamie to cry. Yeah, cry. So she's in the truck right now, trying to like listen to sad music because it's like her big scream cry moment. So she's trying to actually do it practically. We have these for her. Where do they go? Just in case she needs them. Eye drops to make herself cry. But she's gonna try to do it for real. So she's in the truck listening to sad music. and we're here in this gas station that they were so kind to let us borrow. So for the gas station robbery scene, we actually did the parts with the robber on a green screen. For obvious reasons, we didn't want to bring a gun into the gas station, and we couldn't for legal reasons. So we did it on a green screen, and then I put them into the gas station afterwards. So here is how we did that. So we had a picture of the gas station here, which we actually did film in for Jamie's scenes. So here's the blank picture, and then after that, we went into the studio and recorded Blakely and me, I actually played the robber, on the green screen, and then I put them into the gas station. Same thing for this shot. So we actually did film in the gas station for everything except for when the gun, which was a fake gun, was out. Anytime the gun was out, that was on the green screen. Everything else really was filmed there. Yeah, so Jamie just cried.
Oh, you can't even really tell.
No, you did a great job.
Okay, but
yeah, that's good. So we only have.
me justice. Make me look good.
Making it good. That's right. That's right. So now we only have one scene left to do. We're about to go do it right now, and then we're done. This is the last scene of the entire movie. Are you guys ready?
No.
Alexis, say hi. Hi. We're about to do this. Before shooting this scene, I talked to Seth and told him about the importance of the scene. Because like the audience, like no pressure, like don't let this freak you out, I'm being serious. But the audience is going to get as sad as you get right now. Because they're not seeing, like they're sad for her, but they're gonna empathize with you. And they're gonna feel your pain.
Yeah.
Jack, what's wrong? Jack, where's Chloe?
Did it. She did it too. We all did it. A wrap on Alexis. Woo! Yeah, this is a wrap on Seth and a wrap on Jamie for the movie. So great job to them both.
And a wrap on Tyler.
Not yet. Not quite.
Not yet.
I got more I got to do, but filming wise, yeah.
Woo.
Good job, everyone.
Round of applause for Mr. Tyler Stoller.
Oh. So once filming was over, the week after was a week that we were all very excited for, something called Promo Week. So every day of the week on this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we dropped a different poster. Each character in the movie got their own poster. And then on Friday, the group poster and the trailer came out. So there was a lot of anticipation for it, and we were all very excited. So yeah, it was a fun experience, and the trailer had a great response online, so that was a lot of fun. Something that I always wanted to do was show my film in a movie theater. So that's exactly what I wanted to do for this project, to show it to people. So I got in contact with a few different theaters, and we ended up going with Harkins to show the movie at. All right, we just got an email from Harkins confirming the theater, so we're good to go there. Here's Chewy.
Yeah, hi.
And here's the poster that we're working on. Oh, can you see it back there? Yeah. Okay, so today I am showing the finished trailer to the cast. I'm super excited. It's the first time people are going to be seeing actual clips from the movie and stuff like that, so very excited. And then the trailer comes out tomorrow. Same with tickets. Whew, it's crazy, but it's awesome. I'm glad it's happening. All right, I'm about to export this movie trailer Brandon's
Let's
here.
go!
He has not seen it yet though. He's
I'm so
he's
excited.
working on score. I just
Yep.
had him over to do some voiceovers, and he has no idea what he's voiceovering because he has not seen it yet. He's about to though when we go see it with the cast in a few minutes. So Thursday night, the night before the trailer came out, we all went to Aubrey's house and I screened the trailer for the cast so they could see it before everyone else. And here's a video of their reactions.
I do too. I thought it was just me.
This is all too coincidental.
Something is not right.
Jamie was out of town when we showed the trailer, so here's her and Alexis watching it in California.
We're gonna watch it. Don't look. Okay.
So the first step of editing was to make rough cuts. And what that is it's basically putting all of the video clips in order because there's so many different videos from so many different angles. I had to put them all in order the way that I wanted them to be. And this version, the rough cut has no sound, no color grading, no special effects. It's just the videos in order. And then from there, we put sound in, we put the voice recordings in, and then we will put the soundtrack in as well. So once the rough cuts were done, I went in and put a bunch of sound effects in, and I put all the people talking in. And what you might be surprised to learn is that I would say about 95% of the sounds that you hear in the movie, from the crickets to the white noise to the lights to the footsteps, most of it is added on later. All the voice, like them talking, is real. That was really recorded there, but everything else is added later. So that was what I did after the rough cuts. Then once that was done, I went in and added all the special effects. During editing, I brought Aubrey in so she could do the voiceovers for Jade, and Seth so we could do voiceovers for a few of his different parts as well. After this, we started the score. So now we were down to the last few days, and the movie was almost done, but it just didn't have a soundtrack yet. So the composer for the movie, Corey, and I worked together for a few long days, on trying to get the soundtrack all put together just in time for the movie, and it ended up being super cool. Corey did a great job. Yeah, it was very stressful, but we also had a lot of fun. Hey, will you show me what you got for the soundtrack? Oh, that's good. That one's good. Yeah, that was good. Oh, that's creative, yeah.
Here's Poop Fart 2.
Oh. You're gonna win an Oscar for this, dang. Corey did a great job. When it comes to music, he's super creative, and playing the piano and coming up with notes and different phrases and stuff like that. It's a talent that I do not possess. He also is such a hard worker, and the days were long. We only had a few days to do this because of both of our schedules, but he was a trooper. He did a really great job, and I was very, very glad that he agreed to do it, and I was super happy that I got to work with him on this project. So we would pick the different instruments that we thought sounded best for each part, and then play while the movie was going on the monitor. So at this point, the film was due the next day, and I had been working on it for like days and days and days, all day, every day. Still wasn't quite done, so we knew that we were gonna have to pull an all-nighter. So Seth actually came over to help me stay awake and to help me edit efficiently. So yeah, here are some clips from that day. I'm taking a walk because I've been sitting in the studio for the past 12 hours, 11 hours, and need a little break. I'm starting to get a headache, so yeah, hopefully it all turns out good. In 24 hours from now, it should be done. Yeah. I'm editing. I'm getting Derek and my mom. So I've been editing for 6 days straight now. I've only left the room once or twice. Do what you gotta do. So the all-nighter and the weeks and weeks of editing was a super long and stressful process, but when we got to see everything come together, it made all of the long hours and long nights that we spent completely worth it.
When we get stronger, we get weaker. Now that we've all overcome our fears, it's time to play.
So leading up to the premiere, my mom had a spreadsheet of all of the tickets that were sold. So she had to assign all the tickets to a seat, and she basically went through and made sure that all the ticket information was sorted out so that we'd have no road bumps during the premiere. So the day before the movie, my mom and I again went to the theater to test out the movie to make sure that everything sounded good, everything looked good. I remember we both sat down and they started playing it, and we were both like it was the coolest thing seeing the movie that I made up on the big screen like that. And we were right next to the Harkins manager too, so we were trying to like keep our cool. Like we were like, oh yeah, it's nice. I remember we walked out of the theater and he even said, he was like, wow, like that was really impressive. And inside I was like, yes. And on the outside I was like, oh, thanks, that's really nice, yeah. And so we were both like, okay, yeah, like I think it looked good, it sounded good, everything's good, thank you. And we left the theater, and the second that the doors of the theater closed, my mom and I were like, that's so cool, that's so crazy, can you believe it? So that was really cool. It was a really cool experience I'll definitely never forget. So now it's premiere day, and so once the red carpet and everything was set up and the whole cast and crew was there, we went out to go get everyone, to bring everyone into the movie theater, and we were all very excited for everyone to see it, and the turnout was amazing. I was completely blown away. All right, you guys ready to go? Yeah. Let's go get them. During the movie, I was feeling a lot of excitement, but also I was very nervous because the whole time I was kind of sunk back in my chair like, oh, are people gonna like it? Are people not gonna like it? Are people gonna understand it? So it was fun, but it was also very stressful, obviously, showing your creation to everybody because there was a lot of people there. But overall, it was exciting, and then seeing the final scenes come together on the big screen again was awesome. So yeah, it was an experience I'll definitely never forget. Overall, the premiere went better than I ever could have possibly imagined. For all the times I thought this wasn't going to work, for all the late nights and all the times I considered giving up, it was all worth it when I saw the final product on the big screen and when I saw the community come together to watch it. If this documentary teaches you anything, it's that no matter how big your dreams are and no matter how ambitious your goals may seem, you have to go for it. You have to try. If you put your all into what you're passionate about, you will succeed in some way, even when the odds might be against you. Theoretically, there was no way I should have been able to make this film with the low budget that I was on and with the very short time frame that I had, but I worked and worked and worked and never gave up, and it paid off in the end. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you all for believing in me. Trust me, this is just the beginning. I'll see you guys at the movies.